It's difficult to know where to start when it comes to exploring Europe. Europe has a fascinating mixture of gorgeous landscapes. You can enjoy dramatic mountains, pristine lakes, beautiful beaches, and lush forests. The continent has numerous historical spots, along with rich traditions, delicious and varied cuisines, fun festivals, modern delights, and more. If you're going to do it, then do it right and make sure you get to see all of these fantastic places while you're still alive. Number 1. Be extravagant on water taxi in Venice, Italy. Venice is one of those cities that's on everyone's bucket list, and rightfully so. The famous city on the water has been a popular tourist destination for centuries, and from the looks of it, visitors just keep on coming. Each year, millions flock into the city to witness the Canal City grandeur. Seeing canals instead of lanes is probably the most bizarre yet beautiful thing you are likely to witness. The gondola rides are most likely the first image that comes to one's mind when thinking of Venice, but the city has a lot more to offer. Hey, I have new tips like these coming out twice a week. I'd hate for you to miss it, so go ahead, click the subscriber button and ring the bell. Number 2. Enjoy Northern Lights, Iceland. Amidst all the glamorous attractions built by spending a crazy amount of money, there on a snowy night in Iceland or among the pastel-colored homes appears the most beautiful thing on planet Earth. That's purely nature's work. When and where? There is no exact answer, but Iceland is amongst the most comfortable and interesting places to see the lights, as hundreds of thousands of people live in this huge geographical area, offering a variety of hotels and activities to keep you busy. Number 3. Go back in time in Athens, Greece. Athens is one of the world's oldest cities, stepped in over 3,000 years of history. It's a city that has been continuously occupied, destroyed, rebuilt and reinvented. From visiting the ruins of the Acropolis to the highest peak of Mount Lycabettus, millions of visitors come to Athens to see this beauty. This city is also home to some stellar museums, great food, a vibrant nightlife scene, and many festivals worth checking out depending on when you visit. Number 4. Experience the beauty of Eiffel Tower, Paris. Paris' pride and the one-time world's tallest man-made structure, the majestic Eiffel Tower is the highlight of the trip for many newcomer visitors to the French capital. This magnificent steel tower is amazing to see from the ground, but the views from the top are particularly breathtaking. It is part of Paris' history and heritage, and its construction and design are quite impressive, with many stories. Number 5. Ski in Alps, Europe. Everyone has a ski story, even if they haven't gone skiing in their lifetime. Spanning 8 countries, Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Liechtenstein, Monaco, Slovenia and Switzerland, the Alps are the highest mountain ranges in Europe and are pretty stunning to see in and of themselves. A ski holiday is a fantastic option for families who are looking to be a bit more adventurous on their trips away. The cool mountain air breathing into your face as you speed down a beautiful snow-covered mountain is one of the most fun and exciting experiences out there. Skiing for the first time can be a scary experience, but get it right and you'll soon fall in love. Number 6. Bike along Amsterdam's canals, Netherlands. The cool thing about using a bike to get around this city is that you can easily get anywhere quickly, and no visitors should leave without experiencing the city's world-famous bike culture. The city has generous bike paths throughout. Some even have specialized traffic lights with the bicycle symbol illuminated. A lot of Amsterdammers go everywhere on their bikes. They attach wagons and load them with cargo, sometimes even with their children. They also like to chat on their cell phones, run red lights, daringly weave in and out of traffic, and the vast majority of the people doesn't care about helmets. Number 7. Enjoy a thermal bath in Budapest, Hungary. Bath for a city break in Budapest? You won't be disappointed. The scenery is stunning, the nightlife is buzzing, and this delightful destination is packed with history. The thermal spas in Budapest are some of the grandest baths in Europe and are famous throughout the world for their therapeutic effects. Popular with tourists who come to ease the aches and pains from walking the city streets, these unique baths and pools enchant with lots of nostalgic charm. Number 8. Discover history at Colosseum, Rome. The Colosseum is the biggest amphitheater ever built in the world and the most visited monument in Italy. It allows visitors to step back time and live out their gladiator fantasies, as well as providing an insight into the history of the ancient Romans. The mind-blowing and macabre Colosseum went on to influence the lives of Romans and their visitors many centuries after its glory days. Number 9. Take a walk on the oldest bridge in Prague, Czech Republic. A legendary bridge forever lasting, marking the steps of millions people around the world. Every time you step on this bridge, you feel the history of Prague. Its construction started in 1357 under the auspices of King Charles IV and finished in the early 15th century. The bridge is filled with many statues of Christ and have a good overview of the Prague castle. The best time to visit the bridge is on sunrise or sunset. Number 10. Explore Blue Caves in Zakynthos, Greece. West Coast, where Zakynthos offers one of its most stunning views, the Blue Caves. They are also known as the Blue Caves of Volyns, the unique village where they are located. This area is quite wilder, rural and less transited than the other attractions in Greece. The Blue Caves are only accessible by the sea. However, this fact has not stopped them from being one of the main attractions of this Greek island, especially at certain times of the day. Number 11. Explore the beautiful beaches of Montenegro. The beaches in Montenegro are stunningly attractive and with the gorgeous mountains nearby. It's amazing how Montenegro's 295-kilometer long coastline is decorated with some of the most picturesque beaches in the world. A real paradise for beach lovers and sun addicts. All of the beaches in Montenegro are beautiful and the water is turquoise blue and crystal clear. Number 12. Check out opera shows in Vienna, Austria. So you're a foreigner, opera lover and going to Vienna? Then there is no need to explain what Vienna State Opera is and that is one of the top opera theaters in the world. A wonderful evening is to be had at the State Opera. The decor and splendor of the building make the whole occasion very special. Number 13. Take a walk in the ancient capital of Valletta, Malta. The tiny city, with a population of just over 6,000 people, is one of the smallest capitals in all of Europe, and it is definitely one of the most adorable capitals with so many picturesque buildings. You'll never get tired of wandering the streets and photographing the different colors and styles of wooden balconies. Golden stone buildings, ornate churches and sparkling seas, Malta's capital Valletta might be small but it's full of charm. It stretches just over 1 kilometer and is surrounded by water on 3 sides. It has so much historic architecture that UNESCO designated the whole city a World Heritage Site. Number 14. Take a cruise on River Thames in London, United Kingdom. The River Thames is one of the best tourist areas in London. Many of London's best-known attractions are either located on the river's banks or not far away. Whilst enjoying our walks, you'll be able to see the Houses of Parliament building, the London Eye, several of London's best-known bridges, including Tower Bridge, the Tower of London, the Globe Theatre, and numerous statues and monuments. The list just goes on and on. Number 15. Ride a balloon at Ferrara Balloon Festival. Make a surprise that your loved one dreams of all his life, or go on a flight on your own. This ride knows how to take your breath away. While you enjoy the ride for about an hour, the balloons travel slow enough to capture the stunning views. Number 16. View Madeira down over the clouds, Portugal. This spot is amazing if you wanna witness the sunrise. Once you are there, you feel as if you are above the clouds. superb photo opportunities, even a rock you can climb up to admire the view and take a photo with the mountains behind you. Don't forget to bring some warm clothes, cause if it's wind, it's really cold over there. Number 17. Cliff jump in Croatia. Croatia is more beautiful and amazing than you could have imagined. This European travel scene is known for affordable prices, gorgeous national parks, cobbled streets and over 6,000 kilometers of coastline. The scenery is like nowhere else. Some of the beaches require some effort to get to it, but once you get there though, you'll be rewarded with unimaginable beauty. Number 18. Hike through the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia. Choosing where to hike in the Caucasus depends on how adventurous you want to get. The country is simply covered in mountains. Approximately 80% of the total land area of Georgia is mountains. This is an awesome place to try out some long distance routes, taking in high mountain peaks and why not testing your strength, but in final to be rewarded with stunning nature. Number 19. Discover the beauty of Mont Saint-Michel, France. Le Mont Saint-Michel is a tidal island and mainland commune in Normandy, France. The island lies approximately 1 kilometer and can be seen for miles away. It is the third most visited site in France after the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre, with 3 million visitors annually. It has gone through a lot of changes throughout the centuries due to the numerous wars, and today it has a population of only approximately 50 residents. Number 20. Tour the Amalfi Coast, Italy. Visiting the Amalfi Coast is like stepping into a storybook full of lovely stories. A magnet for the wealthy people since the Roman times, the Amalfi Coast is easily one of the most beautiful, most desirable and most charming coastal regions in the world. The dreamy expansive views around every turn, the charm of each town's unique little corners and the natural warmth of the people living here make this destination to appear in our list. Number 21. Board around the Bled Lake, Slovenia. Lake Bled is a very scenic and a must-see if you are in Slovenia. The view from the Bled Castle is amazing. On Bled Lake you can have a nice walk around, or if it's summertime, don't forget to bring your swimsuit. If you'll be lucky, you can swim with fishes, and if you are not much of a swimmer, you can take the boat ride in the lake, and it will take you to the island in the center of the lake, which has a church and tower. Crystal blue water and emerald green color make this lake the Eden's garden of the earth. Number 22. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, Italy. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is one of Italy's signature sites and amongst the most famous structures in the world. If you come to Pisa insistent that all you want to see is the Leaning Tower, for sure you will miss the beauty of this small city. Take the obligatory photos of holding the tower, then spend some time exploring the beautiful Pisa Cathedral next door, and don't forget about the rest of the city. What will amaze you? Number 23. Explore the Gothic Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. Neuschwanstein Castle is a 19th century romantic palace on a rugged hill above the village of Hohenschwangau in southwest Bavaria. The castle was intended as a home for the king until he died in 1886. It was opened to the public shortly after his death. Just the story behind how it was built is fascinating, but to see the beautiful structure up close is just magnificent. Number 24. Enjoy the scenery at Lovatnet Lake, Norway. One of Norway's most beautiful spots, a lake with a very particular and breathtaking color, but also a hidden gem. We recommend staying here for a couple of days just to make time to relax, bask in the nature, swim in the green water, and take walks. It will cost you $11 to rent a canoe for an hour, so that's a must to do. Number 25. Visit Gaudí's masterpiece, La Sagrada Familia. The expiatory temple of the Sagrada Familia, the construction of which commenced in 1882, is today one of the emblems of Barcelona, known around the world and visited by millions of people. The work of Antoni Gaudí, who wanted to create a perfect temple, presents the life of Jesus and the history of faith. The 18 towers are dedicated to important biblical figures, and this is reflected in their size. 12 of them represent the apostles, 4 the evangelists, 1 the Virgin Mary, and the highest of them all represents Jesus Christ, which will be topped by a cross reaching a height of 172 meters. When it has been completed, the Sagrada Familia will be the highest building in Barcelona and the highest church in the world. Number 26. Enjoy the mythical, legendary and very famous French Riviera. The French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur, is the Mediterranean coast of southeastern France. It includes famously glamorous beach resorts such as Saint-Tropez and Cannes, and the independent microstate of Monaco. A health retreat in the 18th century, the area later attracted aristocrats, artists, and the 1960s jet set. Today it's an established holiday destination with paths connecting many coastal villages and towns. Number 27. Take a scenic photo at Pantheon, Rome. The Pantheon is a true architectural wonder. It is a former Roman temple, now a Catholic church, in Rome, Italy, on the site of an earlier temple commissioned by Marcus Agrippa during the reign of Augustus. It is one of the best preserved of all ancient Roman buildings, in large part because it has been in continuous use throughout its history, and since the 7th century the Pantheon has been in use as a church. The circular oculus right at the apex of the Pantheon's dome might be this church's most iconic feature, allowing sunlight to flow down into the Pantheon. Number 28. Connect with the history at Bran Castle, Romania. Dramatic 14th century castle, former royal residence and alleged legend of Count Dracula inspiration, the castle was restored in 2015 and now it looks like a proper European castle museum. It provides lots of information on Dracula's legend and that period, as well as about Romania royal family tree. The castle is furnished and has all sorts of surprising exhibitions. The grounds surrounding the castle are well maintained and a great place to relax, eat or have a beer or a coffee. It is a must-go to sightseeing if you visit Romania. Number 29. Enjoy the colorful St. Basil Cathedral, Moscow. The Cathedral of Vasily the Blessed, commonly known as St. Basil Cathedral, is an Orthodox church in Red Square of Moscow and is one of the most popular cultural symbols of Russia. If you look carefully, you can actually see 9 churches in one. At first, today's cathedral served as a basis for 9 small churches built one after another, connected through galleries. It is one of the centerpieces of Red Square and now mostly a secular building. Number 30. See art at the Blue Mosque, Istanbul. The Blue Mosque was built between 1609 and 1616 by the architect Mehmet Aga, instructed by Sultan Ahmed I. It was designed as an imperial show of strength to complement the imposing Hagia Sophia, which faces it across Sultan Ahmed Square. The Blue Mosque continues to be used as a daily mosque, however it's also incredibly well preserved, and it's no surprise that it's one of the Istanbul top visitors attractions. It attracts about 5 million people a year and is widely known as one of the world's iconic spiritual buildings. Number 31. Walk up to Pena Palace, Portugal. The Pena Palace is a Romanticist castle in São Pedro de Penafiel, in the municipality of Sintra on the Portuguese Riviera. The castle stands on the top of a hill in the Sintra Mountains above the town of Sintra, and on a clear day it can be easily seen from Lisbon and much of its metropolitan area. Pena Palace is a very unique palace and it's definitely a must-go if you visit Sintra. Number 32. Listen to history about Conwy Castle, United Kingdom. Dominating the historic town of Conwy is Conwy Castle. The castle image is clearly seen when you enter in the town and reinforced when inside. The castle walls are some of the most complete sets in Europe, incorporating 21 towers and 3 gateways in 1.2 kilometers of walls. They are very well preserved and you can still walk along the battlements for most of the length. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, the video up here is also very good. Don't forget to like this one and subscribe to our channel.